On Saturday, January 23, 2016, Arizona Game and Fish, the Liberty Wildlife Rehab Center, and the Willow Bend Environmental Education Center joined forces for an outstanding presentation on the bald eagles of the Flagstaff area. Our day began watching wild eagles along Lake Mary Road with Rick Miller and his crew from Arizona Game and Fish.
Eagles don't get their adult plumage, you know, the classic white head with the dark body, till they're about 5.
Wow, 5?
So this bird is probably, I don't know, 3 or 4.
There he is, our bald eagle. Immature, hanging out in a snag.
through this, or you mean just see it?
It was fantastic to have access to high-end spotting scopes.
Hey, look that one. Hey, look what's flying overhead. Yeah. What is that? Probably is, yeah. Yeah, at least 2. Yeah. So real deep wing feet, really slow, big flaps.
Back at the Willow Bend Center, Kyle McCarty from Arizona Game and Fish gave a presentation on Arizona's bald eagles. Tagging selected birds with radio transmitters shows that bald eagles may travel from Arizona to as far away as the Northwest Territories of Canada and back in a single year. 77 breeding sites have now been identified for bald eagles in Arizona. Lower Lake Mary and Lake Elaine, right here in town, are now on the list. In the 1966 edition of the Golden Guide to the Birds of North America, which I still use, bald eagles aren't even listed as ranging into Arizona. Although sampling was undoubtedly incomplete before the passage of the Endangered Species Act, it's still clear that these birds have made a very strong comeback over the last several decades. Really, really cool stuff. The star of the show was Aurora, a female bald eagle from Wisconsin who lost her left eye falling out of the nest and thus can't be released into the wild.
Size-wise, because she's from a northern state, she's bigger than our birds here. Typically here in the deserts, the females are around 8 or 9 pounds. She's at 12 1/4 with a 7-foot wingspan. And a lot of wind. On most raptors, the beak's a pretty powerful thing, but the big deal really is the talons. It's the business end of things. Now leave my hand up. Pick it up. See how big that is. It's as wide as a man's hand, and most of us adult males, when we squeeze down as hard as we can, most guys are making 30 or 40 pounds of pressure. Talon grip on an eagle, when they grab something to dispatch it, they can exert close to 300 pounds of pressure with their talons. So if they lay their meat hooks into it, it's pretty much there. Like I was saying, they reach maturity at age 5. Generally here in the deserts, they'll live to be around 20 years old. Northern climates around 25 years old. Her in captivity, where we take care of her on a daily basis, she gets put under and gets a blood draw and a wellness check once a year to make sure there's nothing going on internally. She could possibly live to be into her 40s, double her normal lifespan. 2 years ago, we had her up here for your 4th of July parade here in Flagstaff. She may be back again this year for the 4th of July parade. She's being an attention hound. She kind of likes all that activity around her. She gets out there in the parade, she's preening her feathers and wagging her tail. A bald eagle does a lot of things like a canine does. When they eat, they drool like a canine. When they get very hot, they open their mouth, push their tongue up and pant like a canine. She gets aggravated. Feathers on the back of her head all the way down between her wings will stand up like the hackles on the back of a dog. And when she's really tickled about something, tail hangs in the back.
To date, Liberty Wildlife Rehab has returned 97 injured bald eagles to the wild, which is yet one more factor in the resurgence of these magnificent animals. For more information, be sure to check out the website of the Southwest Bald Eagle Management Committee, and don't miss Kyle and his crew banding bald eagle chicks down at Lake Pleasant on their YouTube video.